Lord, I thank you for each and every person here, and Lord, you know their reason for being here. Lord, I pray, Father, Lord, that you will bring comfort, that you will bring your love, that embrace, that, Lord, you'll bring peace, that you'll allow, Father, Lord, each and every person, Father, Lord, to sense and experience today as we have a time of mingling and food, to be able to enjoy the life of Ellen Perkins Sanders. And I thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen. Liz, will you come?
So I can tell you that this is very rare for an executive director of a nonprofit to speak in a setting like this. And again, my name is Liz, and I work for Good News Clinics. And as mentioned, it's a free volunteer healthcare center. So why am I here? Why am I speaking? I think it has a lot to do with the fact that Ellen wanted to make sure for many years now that no one fell through the cracks in healthcare. And she didn't really ever tell me that. She lived it. She lived it in her work with Longstreet Clinic, and she lived it in her relationship with Good News Clinics. Ellen was supporting Good News Clinics long before I came along as a friend of Mary Baxter, who I believe introduced her to the mission and the ministry that's been here for the last 30 years in this community. So a couple years ago, we were getting ready to expand, we were in a campaign, etc. And so I called on Ellen because I'd never seen before a young professional parent donate the way she donated. So I've heard some great descriptions of Ellen already today, driven and so on. Can we say meticulous? Even in her giving was meticulous. So kind of an interesting story that I just wanted to share because of what it demonstrates about Ellen. We started receiving this very odd amount gift, down to a penny kind of gift. And we thought it was a mistake because that just doesn't happen very often. And so we contacted Ellen and said, hey, have you made a mistake? We're getting this recurring gift and it's a very strange amount. And she said, no, I've chosen to give my paycheck to Good News Clinics because you're going to need help during COVID. And I know how hard it's going to be, and I want to help. And I think that's just who Ellen was. So I just think that what I'm trying to convey is that Ellen wanted to help, but I think even more so Ellen was called to help. And I also think that how we all use our time and how we use our money says a lot about who we are. But I've just never seen someone as willing to use themselves, their life, and every part of it for such good. And so all of you know this so well, those of you who are close with Ellen, and it's an honor just to be able to share that. One thing that I think about, and probably you're all familiar, you know the mural downtown on the square, the Good People of Gainesville? And you know that it references FDR coming in after 2 years after the big tornadoes of 1936, and he basically says that you, the good people of Gainesville, have chosen essentially to make your community better, and you've chosen to do away with the slums and move human beings from slums to suburbs. To rebuild a better city. And for this, you, the good people of Gainesville, deserve all possible praise. That is the spirit from which I think our clinic was born, but I also think that is the spirit of Ellen. It just captures it so well. Chris said yesterday, or a couple days ago, we spoke, and he said, Ellen was brilliant. She could have practiced anywhere, but she wanted to come back and practice here in her home community. So many of you have given to the clinics, as Will mentioned, in her honor. And I will just tell you that typically what happens is we send out a little note card for each gift, and we'll send 4 or 5 sometimes, but There were so many that came in from you all that we had to write a 2-page letter and hand it to Chris because it would have filled the mailbox for weeks. And that says a lot as well. And it was because Ellen asked that you do that for her. Even in her departure, Ellen was thinking about how she could help other people. So, in closing, I do want to make one announcement. Good News Clinics is incredibly proud, incredibly honored to announce that in our new expanded facilities, we will soon add and welcome patients who would have no other place to go, the Dr. Ellen Perkins Sanders Medical Exam Room. That is legacy. That's legacy. So just on behalf of Chris and Ellen's family, thank you for honoring her in the way that she wished by supporting the work about which she was so incredibly passionate. We're grateful.